Beautiful, happy Saturday, or however the Saturday morning is finding you. Thank you for joining me here for this daily practice, this chance to come together and practice together in yoga, in that pure presence, in that pure divine connection with ourselves that we get to establish here through this practice. We will practice a Kriya from the Kundalini Yoga tradition today. And a Kriya simply means evolutionary action or action of the soul. It's basically a set of things that we move through, bringing us from one energetic state to another. So really pay attention to your starting point, how you're starting this morning, and then your end point, where you end up. So that right there is really to experience the full benefits of Kundalini Yoga when we're noticing the effects of our practice afterwards. And I've been practicing Kundalini Yoga now for about 15 years. It's been a truly life-changing practice for me. It's something I do every morning to set my energetic tone for the day. It really gets me going, lifts me up, so that I can come to that place at home within myself, feeling so centered within myself that I don't get so swayed and dismayed by everything going on in our current environment, right? So staying centered in ourselves, we can still witness what's going on, but not being so wrapped up in it. And that's what this practice helps me with, is staying truly centered and grounded within myself. And cultivating that coherence within, that heart and brain coherence. We're going to be doing a little bit of that today. This Kriya is really meant to bring prana, that life force energy, into the heart space so that we can express more of our divine essence and it becomes easier and easier as we practice. So let's tune into that this morning, shall we? So come sitting nice and tall. Just a few reminders with Kundalini Yoga. If there's anything that doesn't feel good in your body, just take a break. Stay in the energy of it, though, becoming aware of your thoughts and just watching your thoughts. You know that if you can watch your thoughts, you are not your thoughts. Right? And we can watch everything that's happening here. We watch our thoughts and our emotions. So staying in the energy of it if there's something that doesn't feel good in your body. And then we'll be practicing a breath work here throughout the practice called breath of fire. And breath of fire is a rapid inhale and exhale of equal lengths. And the navel pumps in slightly on the exhale. So it sounds like, and the navel's pumping in slightly on the exhale. It's not a hard slamming, it's a nice gentle pump of the navel. Now if your first couple days on your menstrual cycle, please do long deep breaths instead. Because it does increase circulation, and that's not a time we want to increase circulation. And if you're new to breath of fire, just doing the best that you can. Sometimes it's easier to actually stick out your tongue and pant like a dog, just to get the movement down. The navel starts pumping. Then once you get familiar with it, you close the mouth and do it from the nose. All right, beautiful. We'll be using some mantras, some movements, some meditation. We'll end with a nice heart-focused meditation. So I hope you enjoy this practice today. And it will be posted on my YouTube public channel for practicing it again. This is called the Essence of Self Kriya. Beautiful. Come sitting nice and tall, closing the eyes, or gazing down at the floor if you're in a place where you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes. And just tuning in to yourself first, noticing your start point. tuning into your breath. And then bringing the palms together at heart center, pressing the palms together firmly. We're going to tune in with a mantra. The mantra is Om, O-N-G, Namo, Guru Dev Namo. I bow to that divine creative consciousness within. I bow to the teachers and the teachings that have been passed down to us that we can connect into. I recognize the divine spark within myself and all beings. Nice deep inhale to begin. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. A nice deep inhale, pausing the breath. And exhaling, letting this practice be, setting the intention here to come home to yourself and falling in love with that space. And I'm just going to adjust my audio settings a little bit. 1 second here. Beautiful. Let's come over to hands and knees. And we'll start right away here with some cat-cow. So hands just underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we're going to arch the spine, gazing up at the ceiling, letting the belly sag, and then rounding the spine on the exhale. And then beginning again. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Taking a moment here to bring some flexibility to the spine. And as the yogis say, a flexible spine is a flexible mind. So tuning into your breath here, tuning into your movement, how your spine is feeling this morning. Making that conscious connection. We do a lot of this practice, most of the practice really with our eyes closed. And that just allows us to go on this inner journey. We'll be transitioning into some sun salutations here in a moment. And when we do those, we'll have our eyes open for balance. But I'll let you know when we begin the Kriya. Good, nice deep inhale to a flat back. On an exhale, let's curl the toes under and press ourselves up to a down dog, a beautiful way to start any day, bringing ourselves a little more upside downness into our world. Helps to shift our perspective sometimes, right? It definitely brings the blood flow to the brain, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, the higher centers. Nice deep inhale here. Shooting those hips up towards the sky. Heels are coming down towards the ground. On your exhale, let's step forward between the hands. Inhaling flat back halfway up. Exhale, fold. Keeping some softness in the back of your knees here. On an inhale, we'll rise all the way up. Palms touching at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Let's take a couple more of those. Inhaling, arms coming up to the sky, palms touching. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back halfway up. Exhale, planting the palms down, stepping back to plank, or the option to come to hands and knees here. Taking an inhale here, and on the exhale, lowering all the way down to the floor. Firming the thighs, tops of the feet are on the floor. We'll inhale up into a cobra, or maybe you're doing an upward dog, that's fine too. On the exhale, pressing back to down dog, taking a breath. Noticing which nostril is a little more dominant right now. And on your next exhale, let's step forward between the hands again. Inhaling halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, rising all the way up. Palms touching at the top, and exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Pausing at that beautiful heart. Giving it thanks. Pumping 100,000 times a day or something around that. Without us even having to think about it. That's divine essence, is it not? Nice deep inhale, arms coming up, palms touching at the top. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back halfway up. Exhale, let's step it back to plank again. We'll inhale here and exhale, lowering again all the way down to the ground. Inhaling, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, pressing up to down dog. Nice deep inhale. And fullest exhale. Let's walk the hands back to the feet. Till we're in a forward fold here, grabbing opposite elbows if that feels good in your body today. Tractioning the spine, connecting to your breath. Good, letting the hands and arms just kind of dangle now. Let's roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming up really nice and slowly. Last thing up is your head. Once you get up here, rolling your shoulders back and down. Beautiful. Standing in awareness here. Noticing your feet firmly grounded. Good. Let's raise the heart rate a little bit here, and then we'll begin the Kriya. So enlivening some more of this prana. We'll bring the hands into Gyan mudra, first finger and thumb touching, arms up like cactus shape, and then we're going to lift the arms as we lift one leg up and then the other. Nice little yogi march here. Inhale, exhale as we go. Just lifting our arms up over our head does so much for our lifting of our own energy. And also right now we're affecting our lymph system in a good way here, getting it moving. Critical for a optimal performing healthy body. Good. Just have fun with it, remembering what yoga, even yoga doesn't have to be so serious, right? Yogis marching into our future here. Good. One more each side. Then we'll take a nice deep inhale, raising the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing the hands down. Taking a nice deep inhale and exhale here. Catching your breath. And then we'll go right away into our next posture, which will be a 3-part. Inhale, moving the arms. And then on our exhale, we'll fold forward, bending the knees slightly, sweeping the arms behind us. Okay, so the inhale, 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 up, exhale, forward fold. So in, in, and exhale. Exhaling out the mouth. Out to the front, side, up, and over. Good, a couple more here. Coming on up, nice deep inhale, arms coming up. And exhale, lowering the arms down. Yeah, starting to feel your energy here, Nice deep inhales and exhales. Beautiful. Coming back down to a comfortable seated posture. And we will start this beautiful Kriya here. So finding your posture, we're going to raise our arms up to about 60-degree angle here. And then we're going to turn the arms around into backward circles, rotating the shoulders. Now, if you have any previous shoulder injury on one side, you'll just take a break and you can visualize that because you'll still be building the neural pathways as you do the visualization. So if you have no shoulder injuries, then you'll have both arms coming up into these backward circles, really activating the energy of the heart here, even clearing for the lungs. And then we're going to add breath of fire to this. So here we go. Once you feel comfortable with the move, you're closing your eyes or gazing down, just having that steady gaze. Either way, your inner eye gaze is rolled up and in towards your third eye point, right in the middle of your brain. These kriyas pull us out of any stuckness we may be experiencing, right? Because it just gets in there and moves us in ways that we don't habitually move through our life. And that starts to trigger neuroplasticity. And so here we go. We get a chance here to reprogram ourselves, move out of any stuckness, anything we've been chewing on a lot lately or feeling like the energy isn't moving. Here we go. We're like engines charging ourselves here this morning with our breath, with our movement, with our intention. And we're on our last minute here of this move. Nice deep inhale, both arms stretching up, pausing the breath, lifting the pelvic floor in and up. And exhale, relax everything down, turning the palms face up. We'll take a minute here. Tuning into your breath, your energy, your unique vibration. Tuning into that nurturing and nourishing quality of life, that support of life. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come onto our bellies. Now, if you have lower back stuff going on today, you can stay right here in Sphinx pose and do the posture from here. Otherwise, you're going to bring your feet up and reach back for your ankles or tops of your feet. We're coming into a full bow pose here, lifting the thighs up, lifting the chest and the head. And then we're going to add a little rock to this and breath of fire. Always the option to go to that Sphinx pose or just have a non-rocking bow pose with breath of fire, but here we go. Massaging the organs and stimulating the whole digestive system here. Nice deep inhale, pausing the breath, stretching up to the full pose. Exhale, relax everything. We'll make little pillows with our hands and place our forehead on a pillow. Wonderful. Now we'll push on up. We'll come back to a seated posture. And we're going to go into some rock and rolls here. Grabbing onto our knees, either the fronts of the knees or the backs of the knees. And we're going to roll ourselves on back and then back on up. So rolling back and then rolling back on up, adding that breath of fire once again. Rapid inhale and exhale through the nose. Slight pump of the navel on the exhale. Breath of fire is an extremely potent and powerful breath, really empowering because it detoxifies us. It really helps to purify us on every level, stimulates our metabolism, really ignites that fire, right, from the inside out. This is one of my all-time favorite Kriyas because it wakes up every part systematically so I can live like a fully awake and conscious human being. And it brings a lot of energy into the body, into the spine, into the heart, into the light of the mind. Good. Coming up seated, nice deep inhale. Fullest exhale. And just notice in this space of how your energy might be shifting. Good. We're going to come up to standing now. We're going to go into some squats. So making sure your toes and knees are pointed the same way, but feet will be about hip width apart. Some people like to squat out at an angle. Other people like to go toes and knees forward. So I'll be doing toes and knees forward. You do what's best for your body. And then we'll bring the arms out in front of us. And then squatting down. Of course, squatting down only as low as our knees say to. But the more we practice this, the stronger our knees get, the stronger our legs get. Good. Keep squatting. We're going to do about 21 of these. Good. Last one. Nice deep inhale. Fullest exhale. Nice little shake out. And we'll come back down, seated. We're going to go back into those arm circles again. So arms coming up, about 60-degree angle out to the sides here. Backwards, big backward circles with breath of fire. And this time around, I invite you to focus on something here that really elevates you, that really brings you a lot of joy. And seeing if you can connect to that feeling. Maybe it's, a special place or something that you've accomplished recently, or a pet or a person that you really love. Just bringing that to heart right now as we do this exercise at the same time. The latest science is showing us that our emotions are tied to our health. There's a very strong correlation there. And they found that living more in the renewing emotions such as appreciation, gratitude, simply inner ease, that feeling of peace, that feeling of calm, that feeling of freedom, any of those heart qualities really serve our bodies well. Starts to release different hormones and chemicals in the body that renew us, that replenish us, rejuvenate us at every level. So that's pretty exciting. Of course, the opposite is also true. If we're living in depleting emotions, they deplete us. Not stuffing anything down here, not trying to hide or run away from any emotion, but really cultivating what it feels like to be in that state of gratitude, that state of joy, and spending more of our time there. Good. Nice deep inhale, arms coming up, stretch, stretch, stretch the spine, pause the breath. And exhale, relax everything down. Simply noticing your energy. Tuning into this generous present moment. And then last bit here, we'll end with a nice heart-centered meditation here. So bring the hands right on top of the heart center here, palms pressing against the heart center, tuning into the heart. And imagining the breath is flowing in and out of the heart. Breathing a little slower and deeper than usual, but finding a comfortable rhythm here. And then as we're here with the heart-focused breathing, making a sincere attempt to connect to any of those heart qualities again. Peace, gratitude, appreciation for someone or something in your life. And now for the next moment, let's send that signal out, sending out, radiating out love and compassion to anywhere that your heart is called to send it. Maybe it's to a family member who could use some extra healing. Or maybe it's to a nation or a group of people who are experiencing severely challenging hardships. Wherever your heart is drawn to, sending, radiating out that heartfelt quality to a person or persons. And then softly drawing that broadcast back, bringing that love, that appreciation, that gratitude back into and for yourself. Asking yourself, what happens when I fall in love with my true self? How does it feel to be so in love, to coming home to yourself? Recognizing this place of pure presence, pure connection with your true self. Beautiful. Bring the palms together, pressing them at heart center once again. Or palms pressing together. And we'll close this practice here this morning by chanting Sat Nam. We'll chant it 3 times. The Sat will be elongated, the Nam will be short. Sat means truth, or truth is my identity. So we're calling on that truth as part of that universal intelligence, merging it with our own being, and then Nam, embodying it, bringing it into the being. Sat Nam. So here we go. Nice deep inhale. Sat Nam. 2 more times. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. And bowing your head to your heart. Asking your heart to lead you through the rest of this day, guided by your divine essence. Satnam. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here this morning. I hope you enjoyed this morning practice. And I hope you continue to come back to a practice for yourself to connect yourself, plug yourself in to this divine essence that's within and all around us before going out into the world. It makes such a difference. So I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Saturday and rest of your weekend. And until next time, I hope to stay connected with you in the field. Thank you and blessings.